Hello and welcome everyone to this Friday edition, November 15th, 2024 of the Premarket Prep session. I'm your host, Adam Holland, stock options expert market strategist, and proponent of the 1% movement. What are we looking to do here each and every day? Close the gap between where we are and where we want to be, where we're destined to be, where our innermost selves naturally gravitate toward. And we're working toward that each and every day, getting 1% better. So make sure whether you're watching live or via replay that you throw those ones in the chat, signifying your intention to get 1% better by the end of this session. And let's absolutely run the table. I'm going to get us kicked off this morning here and dive right into it. So, top news, next appointment. After dropping off the campaign trail to join Team Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been selected by the president-elect to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. The agency is the country's top health bureau, overseeing the Food and Drug Administration, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Institutes of Health, and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. With a background in environmentalism, Kennedy is a big pharma skeptic and has promised to, quote, end the corruption at the federal agencies. Maha. So he's going to help make America healthy again, Trump declared in a victory speech on election night. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. RFK's views on health and medicine really span the spectrum, and he will likely be given more of a free hand under the new administration to go wild on health, whatever that means. However, one area that Trump has said would be off limits is fossil fuels, referencing that again recently saying, Bobby, leave the oil to me. RFK's first priority after taking the health helm will be to declare a national emergency over the chronic disease epidemic. That'll include conditions like obesity, diabetes, and autism, as well as reducing chemicals, additives, and processed ingredients in food. Not necessarily against that. Some of his other comments and positions have been more controversial, like recommending fluoride be removed from public water supplies, sexual dysphoria as a result of herbicides, damaging effects stemming from Wi-Fi, and a COVID pandemic that may have been engineered to target specific ethnicities. Under the microscope, markets have been focused on RFK's views of immunization, sending shares down of vaccine makers like BioNTech, whose ticker is BNTX. They're down 7%. Novavax, ticker NVAX, who's down 7%, following news of his HHS appointment. While RFK maintains he is, quote, fully compliant with the vaccine scheduling myself, except for COVID, he has weighed into the topic with a heavy dose of skepticism. RFK has promised not to, quote, take away anybody's vaccines, but his past comments suggesting links to autism, dangerous ingredients, safety risks, and efficacy of certain shots has the sector on watch. On the flip side, he has lambasted the FDA's, quote, aggressive suppression of psychedelics, sending stocks like Atai Life Sciences, ticker ATAI, up 14%. In Canex Healthcare, ticker IXHL, up 5%, and Compass Pathways, ticker CMPS, up 4%, up in early trading on Friday. Now, what else is happening? Fed not in a hurry to lower interest rates, said Jerome Powell yesterday. We talked about that this week, how Jerome Powell was going to speak. Thursday at 3 p.m. He did, and he said, kind of the big takeaway was that they're not in a hurry to lower interest rates. I don't think that that's necessarily any like new information, but it's not something the markets liked or received well, so it makes sense that we moved lower overnight as well as globally. So more red on the horizon, right? Credit card debt hits a record 1.17 trillion in Q3, says the New York Fed. Palantir, ticker PLTR, to transfer stock exchange listing to NASDAQ. Q3 trades by Buffett Berkshire, new stake in Domino's Pizza. They took a stake in Domino's Pizza, DPZ, and also Pool, POOL. So it's funny that, like, I feel like maybe Buffett's on his like summer vibes, but a company, surrounding and really in the sector of pools and then Domino's. You know, evidently Buffett's done his research, but I just thought that was funny. Disney's guidance drives best post-earning gain in years. Satirical news outlet The Onion wins bid for Alex Jones's InfoWars. These automakers will likely benefit if EV tax credit is pulled. The Onion is actually a perfect place for Alex Jones because The Onion is like all jokes. Like it's not like real news, and that's where Alex Jones needs to be. Like he's entertainment, but it's not news. Commercial space licenses hit record despite red tape critics. IEA raises 2024 oil demand forecast, sees surplus in 2025. Biden Xi to meet for the last time before Trump takes office. In terms of today's markets, in Asia, Japan up 0.3%, Hong Kong down 0.1, China down 1.5, India down 0.1. In Europe, the FTSE in London up 0.1, Paris down 0.1, Frankfurt up 0.1, the Dow down 0.4, S&P down 0.6, Nasdaq down 0.8. Crude oil down 1 full percent, gold flat, Bitcoin down 1.8%. Today's economic calendar: retail sales at 8:30, nothing too important. Industrial production at 9:15, business inventories at 10 a.m. Nothing really super important that's going on today. So let's see how we end up, finishing up and closing out this week. It's been a week to match my best here, and not a lot of people were expecting that, right? Trump's in office, so the market only goes up. Oh, we're going to get a lot of that, and that was simply not the case. And I'm glad that we were able to kind of have a week that wasn't scot-free, right? Amazon didn't work out for us. We had Amazon breaking out to the upside. It couldn't hold that breakout, but that was also something that we were sorely aware of given the weakness in broader markets, right? IWM, SPY. So it was something that we accounted for going into it. So even though, you take that loss, losses are part of this game. You either win or you learn, and then you move forward with that knowledge and with those experiences. But thankfully, the wins have, vastly outnumbered the losses this week, as we've had a number of our long swings and leaps come through to beautiful maturity, right, over the course of this week. You look at app, right? Just like absolutely insane for the long-term portfolio. The long-term portfolio with shares and long swings and leaps, just was on steroids. Absolutely on steroids. It seems like every single leap that we were in went crazy. Um, and I'm thankful for that, right? I'm grateful for that. So it's always about maintaining perspective, remaining patient, and also getting a handle on what markets are doing. And I think now people understand that they won't just straight go up under the Trump administration. It's a shock to a lot of people, right? A shock that hurts some pockets for a lot of people who FOMO'd in at the top. Won't be us. Hasn't been us. Will continue to not be us, right? So we'll play it smart today, play it safe, play it patient, execute when necessary, and make it a great day, right? Everybody else, make sure you have a great and safe weekend. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for our next pre-market prep session. Have a good one.